Hi, I'm John. This is my show, Sports Reckoning. So I quite frequently talk down about the great Curator and stuff, and I mix in Merle a little bit in there and stuff. You know, I kind of like Merle more as a person and stuff, but in reality, he's a fraud piece of shit loser too. Just like Dan, the great Curator, total fraud piece of shit loser. They're fake as fuck. You gotta suck their dick. This is like the way it goes, and it goes with both, like, we know Merle likes sucking cock and shit. Now, there's one of the things about Merle and stuff, it's like, okay, look at, what's more homophobic, for me to say that Merle likes to suck cock, or is it more homophobic for him to actually be a homosexual, but be afraid to actually live as a homosexual in the real world, so he has a girlfriend, and he says, I live with a girlfriend, I got my girlfriend and stuff, right? It's like, but you're gay. You like sucking cock, right? So it's like, that's one of these things about, like, when people, they yell at me, I'm homophobic. How am I homophobic? I'm telling a gay dude who likes sucking cock, why aren't you living as a gay man? How come you're fucking faking it and saying you got a girlfriend? What the fuck is that about? You know, I'm trying to free you. I'm trying to free you. It's like, dude, everybody knows you're gay. Everybody knows you like sucking cock. And it's like, and then you room, your buddy, your roomie buddy, your traveling buddy is the great Curator. So it's like, well, we know it's 50-50 shot that he likes sucking cock too. And maybe you guys are butt buddies. And that's what the whole fucking relationship between you actually is about and shit. Maybe it's not about cards at all. Maybe it's just about your secret escape so you can go travel and play in fantasy world and shit, right? And do your little dress up and suck cock and shit and act like nobody knows that you guys are doing that shit, right? It's like, if you don't know, I like talking shit about these losers and shit, right? Because they're fake as fucking shit, right? So what I've said to the community, this is why I'm so mad and I'm so angry about all these fucking losers and shit, right? Is that what I say to the community is that my Michael Jackson story, that Michael Jackson is actually the child of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, I say it deserves to be in this community, and I say that you do not have a choice. I say that this story is so big, like, why do I gotta be your friend, Dan, the great Curator? Why do I gotta be your friend for you to talk about a story that's right smack dab in pop culture, and it's right smack dab and involved in everything of what you deal with? Why do I gotta be your friend for you to talk about that story? I don't understand that. It's like, I'm telling you a story. Why are you making it about me? It's not about me, it's about Michael Jackson. It's about his real parents being Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. It's about his collectibles and his life experiences and stuff that is right directly involved in everything about what you're talking about and shit, right? And I'm giving you this information so you can invest in it. And if you invest in it and you talk about it and help expose it, you can make a profit off of it. I'm just flat out giving you this stuff. But you're going to demand that I got to be your friend? I got to be friendly to you? Then that's where I don't understand that. It's like, this has nothing to do with me and you. That's why I keep fucking yelling at you, because I'm trying to make it clear I don't fucking like you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to go sleep in a hotel room with you and Merle and play dress up and let's all suck each other's cocks. I don't want to do that shit, okay? Why are you forcing me to have to go perform homosexual acts with you and your fucking boyfriend Merle before you'll talk about fucking Michael Jackson and the relevancy of him in the community of which you were involved in? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, now let me show you, like, how integral Michael Jackson is involved in what he's actually talking about, right? So he's talking about going to the National in Atlantic City, and he's talking about trade night, how he's going to set up his little own section for his pop culture cards, right? So let's listen to this.
One of the major trade nights, but we're going to be carving off the little section of the trade night on Thursday for pop culture cards. So anybody that's going to the National, if you love anything pop culture, alternative cards, Star Wars, Marvel, wrestling, music, entertainment, whatever, right? Disney, all that stuff, come to hang out with us at the sponsored trade night on Thursday.
Okay, so did you see? He told you the Marvel card. I mean, the pop culture cards and all the stuff of what that involves, right? Okay, so I don't have to show you that Michael Jackson's in music, right? Probably easily considered one of the biggest musical entertainers of all fucking time, right? So You're going to tell me Michael Jackson's not involved in music? And he's got cards. He's got cards in the 70s and stuff. There's got all kinds of really cool fucking cards before you get into the 80s where you get the junk wax era and stuff, right? But there's still really other cool cards that are there too that are available and stuff. There's cool stuff. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. Plus he's got all the other collectibles. But if you just want to narrow it down to cards, he's got cards. Diana Ross and Supreme. She's got cards of the Supreme. She's got cards of Diana Ross. Smokey Robinson, he's got some cards with the Miracles, and he doesn't have many cards that I've seen of Smokey Robinson. There's like an American Bandstand card, but there's just like not a lot of him that I've seen. Maybe there is other stuff out there, but that's what I'm saying. If there is stuff, it's got to be real rare because I don't see much of it and stuff. But they've all got cards. They've all got cards. Now, let me show you some of this stuff. Okay, so this is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson almost bought Marvel. Okay, because he's talking about Marvel cards, right? And it's like, dude, Michael Jackson almost bought Marvel. He actually, so here's like, you can go watch videos and stuff. Like up here, this is him meeting with Stan Lee. See, there they are, him and Stan Lee, right? So, and this is like Michael Jackson almost bought Marvel. Then here's a guy like, this is just 2 months ago. It's a 1.8 million, because I'm trying to show you, this guy dresses up like Spider-Man, and he dances around in like public locations, dances to Michael Jackson songs. That's one of the things he does and shit, right? So he's got 1.8 million views on that just in 2 months. So it's showing you that Michael Jackson is still relevant in today's modern society. This is a video of Stan Lee saying, Stan Lee, Jackson wanted to buy Spider-Man. That's what he says, because Michael was wanting to play Spider-Man and stuff, and so he was talking to Stan Lee about, can I buy it and stuff, and because Stan Lee was saying, I think Michael wanted to play Spider-Man and shit, right? And so, like this one right here, this Marvel, this one says, did Disney steal Michael Jackson's idea to buy Marvel to create the MCU? Because that's a thing that actually was happening. There's Michael Jackson with Mickey Mouse. So right there, it's like, okay, Michael Jackson is directly connected to Marvel. Okay, so you're talking about Marvel cards. So like you talk about all these cards and stuff, right? Then you talk about like something like this. So you're talking about Star Wars, right? You're talking about Star Wars. Okay, so here is Michael Jackson with George Lucas. This is the making of Captain EO. So George Lucas he didn't direct it, but he was some kind of creator or assistant on the making of Captain EO. And it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, which is like a play. It's Michael Jackson doing his Captain EO version. It's like a Star Wars version. It's a Michael Jackson version of like Star Wars and shit, right? This was actually a ride at Disneyland. So when you want to talk about like Disney and stuff, because you're talking about Disney cards, right? And you're talking about like Michael Jackson, entertainment, Star Wars, Disney. It's all of it. He's got it all. Everything about what you're talking about of your pop culture stuff, of what people should be interested in. It's like Michael Jackson was doing all of that stuff. He was doing all of it. The only one I couldn't find is like wrestling. You mentioned wrestling and stuff, right? So it's like that was the only one and stuff. And so let me show you. Here's a little video of Michael Jackson at Disneyland.
Yellow brick road. Follow, 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 the yellow brick road. Follow the rainbow with the stream. Follow the fellow, follow the dream. Follow the fellow, follow the fellow, follow.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying flat out. It's like, look at, Great Curator just said he gave an explanation for what pop culture cards was, okay? Like music and entertainment and shit. You could go find Michael Jackson. He's in one of those Men in Black movies and stuff. You'll find him doing little cameos and stuff. But he's out there and shit, right? He's Michael Jackson, though, but he made his own movies, what he calls short movies. His videos are not just videos. They're like short movies and stuff, like Thriller and stuff, right? And so and Michael made his own movies and shit. He's got a Moonwalker movie and shit. He did his own stuff and shit, right? But he was also interested in like Marvel. I just showed you the connection you're talking about. So Michael Jackson, when you want to talk about somebody like in the music, he's the biggest of the biggest, right? And in the Hollywood movie stuff, technically there's a little thing, but he is making his own movies and stuff. He's got his own documentaries, The Making a Thriller. He's got all kinds of stuff like that, which he's doing with huge Hollywood directors. So that like puts him in that ballpark too of like being an actor and shit. And he did do some cameo roles in movies and stuff. But so then you're talking about like Disney. I just showed you the connection to Disney and Michael, and then you said like Star Wars and shit, right? And like Marvel and stuff, like all that stuff. It's like, dude, I just showed you Michael Jackson's directly connected to all of those things of the labels of what you identified as what pop culture is. Michael Jackson like checks like all those boxes in big ways too. But for some reason, you don't think that the understanding that Michael Jackson's real fucking like family lineage is that he was actually the love child of a 14-year-old Diana Ross and her first love, an 18-year-old Smokey Robinson. But because this occurred at the exact same time, because this is the other part of it, this occurred at the exact time of where Motown is being developed. It's before Motown is actually developed. So Berry Gordy tells him, you got to get rid of that kid because we're trying to build this record company and I can't build this record company around Smokey Robinson with this lingering scandal of Smokey having a child from a 14-year-old girl in the neighborhood. That was a problem. So they had to, and this is before Motown, so they're not successful. None of them are successful and shit. They got to figure out a way to fix that problem, and what they did is they sent that fucking kid away to the Jackson household, which later develops into the Jackson 5. So if they don't ever abandon that kid, then there is no Jackson 5. Motown, in the initial stages of Motown is called Tamla Records. They changed it to Motown, which I actually think is because there's a song Shop Around, which I say Smokey wrote that song because of his experience of having to abandon the child. He writes the song Shop Around, which is the first million-selling record for, it's actually Tamla. They always say Motown, but it's still just Tamla at that time. And I think that was the time of where then Berry Gordy realized, look at the people like that Shop Around, and Berry Gordy knew what the song was about. He's a co-writer on the song too. He wrote the song with Smokey and stuff, but he understood what the song was about. It was about them getting rid of the kid. And then so when he saw that, hey, that real life experience caused us to be able to make this song, and this song is a song that sold 1 million records. And I think because of that, Berry Gordy then decided to change the name to Motown because the name is a more real, like descriptive name of who they actually are. Where Tamla Records, that was not a descriptive name of who they actually are. It's not, and so like things too, it's like even the name Tamla is directly connected to Star Wars. It's like, how could that be directly connected to Star Wars? Because Tamla actually came from, originally it was going to be Tammy Records, which was the movie that Debbie Reynolds had played. There's a movie called Tammy's in Love. Okay, so that was the movie that Debbie Reynolds had played to start in Tammy. And so because of that, Berry Gordy was going to name his record company after that and call it Tammy Records, but Tammy Records was taken, so he changed it to Tamla. That's how Tamla gets the origin of Tamla, how it gets created. Okay, but Debbie Reynolds is the mother of Carrie Fisher. Okay, so directly the naming of how Motown develops into Motown actually has a direct connection to Star Wars and shit, right? Because it was named after Debbie Reynolds, who's the mother of Carrie Fisher and shit, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, this story is huge and shit, but the name of Motown, like I said, it was Tamla, but after they make the song Shop Around, after they get rid of the kid, that's when the name changes to Motown. Without them abandoning the child, first of all, they wouldn't have written that song Shop Around, never would have been created. That would have never have happened, you know? So maybe there is no Motown. Maybe it never flourishes properly, and maybe they struggle and they abandon it. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe they don't get to the point where there is no Motown. It would still be Tamla. Maybe they would have failed as Tamla. The world would have never been exposed to Motown. That's what I'm saying, how integral this moment in time of what happened here, of the abandonment of Michael, it spawned all of these other events to happen, which ends up playing a major part in pop culture history, which leads to Michael Jackson being Michael Jackson, who's directly connected to all of the issues of what you were talking is what pop culture is identified from. But you refuse to talk about the Michael Jackson story because you don't like me? What is that? What is all this fucking understanding of pop culture? Why are you making it about me? Because you must be fucking gay and you want to suck my cock and you're mad that I'm not fucking gay. Is that what it's about? Is this a gay club, a secret gay club that I gotta bend down and suck cock so I can be initiated into your homosexual world and shit? And without me fucking bending over and letting you fuck me in the ass, then I'm not allowed, I'm not accepted into your fucking world? Because I don't understand what it is. And if it's like, I can't understand it, it must be something totally fucking out of the realm of what I'm used to. And then you got Merle over there, who's obviously... he's like fucking some kind of homosexual tendencies in him. Look at the fucking way he makes his videos. He's always cross-dressing, acting like he's these women. There's something definitely homosexual about Merle and shit, right? And you're the one who's buddies with Merle, so why am I not to assume that there might be some kind of homosexual underworld fucking controlling of the card market thing that's going on that I'm just not completely fucking clueless about because I'm not fucking homosexual? Is that what it is? That this is some kind of secret fucking this is some kind of secret homosexual club and you won't let me in because I won't fucking suck your cock? That's right, I'm not gonna fucking suck your cock. Stop fucking asking me to suck your cock before you'll talk about real fucking issues in pop culture. And then you're sitting up here acting like you're a fucking representative of the pop culture market in the fucking sports card community. You're a fucking fraud. You're a fraud as a human being. You're a fraud of a representative in the fucking sports card community. Go suck some cock, you fucking loser.